Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video. If you are new here, hello, my name is Chloe and I do various Sims content and I'm so close to 1K subscribers, so make sure to subscribe so I can reach my goal. Now, let's start talking about this video. From the title, you know that this is going to be a tutorial video, which is not my typical content. This is the first time that I do a tutorial in my whole life, so you would expect me to struggle trying to let you know what I want to let you know, what I'm trying to say. Let's start. Hope that you benefit from this video. Okay, now let's start. In this tutorial, I'm gonna teach you how to make thumbnails for The Sims 4, cast, build, and gameplay. I don't know how to make thumbnails for any other game because I don't usually play other games and do thumbnails for them, like if that makes any sense. So this is what I'm gonna focus on. Also, you will need three main things. There are two main, like very important keys, I would say, that you will need to make a good thumbnail, and the third one isn't necessary, but in my opinion I like to use it. The first two main stuff that you need is a graphic designing application or website, and the second thing is G-Shade or Reshade. I'm not gonna explain how to install them, I'm just gonna explain why you will need them. And the third thing is Andrew Pose Player, because you will need that for both of making cast thumbnail and gameplay thumbnail. First of all, I'm gonna explain how to take pictures for all of the three categories, and then we're gonna move to an application or website for graphic designing. In my case, I'm gonna use Canva, and I think it's free to use, and you have so many like options in Canva that are free to use, so we're gonna go for that. Now we will start with cast. Now let's imagine that you have created your cute sim and now you want to take thumbnails for them. I'm gonna use the Andrew Pose Player and teleport my sim here. One of the main things that I really focus on is to have a cute background, and like this is giving a cute aesthetic to your thumbnail. And then we're gonna use a shader. I have so many shaders, so I'm gonna see like which one fits her vibe, and then we're gonna move with it. So for the cast, I'm gonna use the Sunset Skies version 2. I don't know how to pronounce this creator's name, but I love their shaders. I like them so much, but we're gonna use the Sunset Skies version 2. Now, what I like to play with from the shader section is to add something. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know how to pronounce it, but there's something called ADOF or ADOF. I don't know how to say that. And this is gonna turn your background blurry. Also, we're gonna turn on the magic DOF. I don't know how to pronounce these. And now we're gonna look at that. First of all, this is how my game looks without any shader on. But now we're gonna go and use any pose that you like. For me, I'm gonna go for the selfies poses pack 2. I just downloaded random poses to use and I'm gonna go for all in one. Now I'm gonna go and see which pose do I like. Now, let's assume I'm taking a photo. The main key is to choose like a cute angle because we're gonna use like the whole picture for the thumbnail. So for example, I like this angle, so I'm gonna take the pose. Or maybe I'm gonna just lower the angle and go for this. I like this angle so much, and that's it. Like you made now most of the work that you need for a thumbnail. So this is gonna be for thumbnail number 1, which is for cast. Now we're gonna move for a gameplay. Also for my gameplays, I do see some simmers, they like to go with thumbnails that they take pictures from their gameplay and then they're gonna edit it. But for me, I like to also use a pose player. I don't know if it's good to use pose player for your stories, but for me, I do prefer them. Now I'm gonna teleport two sims and we're gonna take like a cute picture for both of them. I don't know if this angle's cute or not, so we're gonna move them here. Okay, now I have my two sims teleported. I'm gonna go for a pose for 2, and I have this by Sari Simsy. Hope that I pronounce it right. I'm just gonna go for anything, and now I'm gonna use the light preset. I don't know how also to pronounce this creator's name, but I like this shader a lot. we're gonna use it and we're gonna turn ADOF on, or ADFO, whatever you want to call it. Also, I'm gonna turn on MXAO, and you can switch between any one you like, depends on the shadow that you want in your thumbnail. So for me, I'm just fine with how it looks now. I made them pose and I like this pose a lot. It's by SterrySimsy, and maybe their friends or lovers, who knows, and we're gonna take their pictures. You know, as I said, shader is like the main point on making a good thumbnail. I'm gonna take their photos. We're gonna go for different angles this time. Maybe we will take their pictures from a higher angle. Maybe we're gonna zoom in more, and then we're gonna choose like which one is better. So this is what I'm going for so far. I really like this shader a lot. So now we did our job for gameplay and for the cast. Now let's move to the build. Now we're here with this amazing build. Now, the main thing that I really focus on when I take photos of any build, and the second thing is when I use a shader, I need the MXAO thing because it gives like the shadow to your build. That's why your build is gonna look amazing. Like, I know without a shader, this build looks really cute, but also when you're using a shader, it's gonna look really cute. This time, we're gonna go back to the Sunset Skies version 2. Although, when taking a photo for your build, I don't like to take photos with ADOF or the DOF setting on. I prefer the MXAO only and the MXAO relatives, I would assume. You can turn off the ones you don't like. Like, you can see the difference if I turned off this setting, and you can see the difference when I turn off this setting, and also you can see the difference with this. For now, I'm gonna take a photo with the 3 of them turned on, and now we have to look for a cute angle. So I'm gonna show you how it's gonna look when we have the ADOF on. This is how it's gonna look. I really like how it looks, but I still prefer to take my photos without the ADOF on. But if you like that, why not? Again, you will need the tab key. And now the main thing is to look for a cute angle. Sometimes you will see that these plants look so dark, and this is when you can just turn off some of the MXAO options if you want it not to look really dark. So I'm gonna try to make it now. So in the original build, when I took photos of it, I took it from this angle, but you can also take it like from this angle, or you can just zoom in. Depends on what do you prefer. In my opinion, I just like to take them from this angle, and it's kind of far away, so we can cover the whole lot. So this is how it's gonna look. We can also rise it, and when I rise my pictures, I either use the Q or E keys on the keyboard. So for now, I do think it looks really cute. Also, I'm gonna try this angle because I like it, and we're just gonna go higher a bit, and it looks really good. Okay, so now we have done our work inside the Sims or inside your game. Now we're gonna move to Canva, and you know, your work in Canva is gonna be like really simple because the main work you have to do is inside the game using the shaders. Now let's go to using Canva. Okay, now we're going to step 2, which is using Canva to create our thumbnails. You have so many options to use in Canva with your free entrance, or I don't know how to call it. And if you can pay for Pro, that's gonna be like really good because you will have access to more stuff or graphic designing tools, I would say. Okay, so you will type YouTube thumbnails to get like the right, I would say, I don't know what it's called, like shape for the thumbnail. I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say. And you will go to create a blank YouTube thumbnail. Now you can drag the photos from your screenshot folder to your Canva, like you can just drag them. So now we're gonna create the cast thumbnail. The first thing is that we're gonna drag the photo, and it will automatically fit into the whole picture or the frame. And now you want to create a frame. There is like a very easy way to create a frame if you don't want to mess with Canva. You just can simply go to these 3 lines, and you can choose what type of borders you want to have. Let's assume that we want a plain one. Do you want it broader or broader? I don't know how to say that. You can just drag it or slide it here, and it's gonna look more broad. I'm gonna go with that. And then for the color, I want to go with just white. I prefer white. You have here just other options, or you can just go to the color section and go for whatever you would like. Let's assume we just want pink one. I think it looks really cute as well. We're just gonna go with it. So now this is like most of the job that you want to do for your cast. So after adding your frame and the photo, now you want to do something with the text. So this is where I really struggle a lot, but I'm gonna try my best to explain on making a good one. Now let's assume you're making the 10-minute cast challenge, and I just made like different boxes for each text. I don't know how to say that. I just typed the 10-minute and challenge separately. We're gonna add the last one, which is gonna be cast, and now we're gonna try to design it. You can go for effects and go for shadow, and I prefer to go with black shadow, and here you can just adjust the way your shadow is gonna look like. I don't really mess with that a lot, like it could simply look like that, and that's it. I'm gonna add now the shadow to all of them, and we're gonna be back. And now after messing with like Canva and trying to adjust it, this is how I made it look like. I don't know if it's really cute. Like this is where I struggle a lot, so this is how it's gonna look like. You can change the color. Now I think that you cannot read it really well. Maybe you can go and make the font bigger, but I'm just here explaining, so I'm not really gonna focus on the size of the font. And then the last thing you want to add is, maybe this is like gonna be a cute thing, which is sparkles. You're just gonna type sparkle here in the elements section, and you're gonna go for graphics, and then you will search for what option do you have that's free. Okay, so here I found this cute sparkles. You can just adjust the color from this section. I turned it to white. I'm just gonna use it here. Don't add a lot. And you can adjust its transparency. Maybe you don't want it too, glowy. And then I'm just gonna copy it and scatter it around the whole picture or thumbnail. So now how this looks like, you can add more and adjust its, transparency. It depends on you. So far it looks really cute. I'm just gonna add more of it here. So I think it looks really cute. You're gonna type overlay, go to the graphics section, and then you're gonna find these cute bubbles. I do like them, but unfortunately in this version, most of them are just pro. So maybe you're just gonna use the ones that you have, and you're just gonna adjust its transparency because it's really like dark or looks really glowy. I don't know how to say that. So because this is the only free one, we're just gonna also scatter it around the whole thumbnail and just adjust it the way you want. That's it. This is how you create your cast thumbnail. So this is like the whole work. Looks really cute, yet really simple. And this whole thing, like, it's gonna take you around 15 to 30 minutes if you are gonna adjust the whole thing. Now we're gonna move to the other ones, which is gameplay and build. Okay, now we're gonna create the gameplay thumbnail. It's gonna be like exactly the same. We're gonna drag it, and then you're gonna add a frame. Maybe this time we're gonna make it more broad, maybe just like that. And we're gonna go with the white option. Let's assume this is not so berry, and now we want to create like a cute text for not so berry. Again, you're just gonna add separate texts, and you're gonna type not so berry on them. So I made not so in a different text and berry in a different text, and I chose this color. I don't know if it looks really good. Maybe we just can now adjust the color to look on which one is better. Maybe this one's cute, and maybe we can add them both in a different shade. Let's see which one looks better. Or we can just go with that, and I added now, or this time, a white shadow instead of black, and this is how it looks like. This is really simple. I know that the text doesn't look really good, but again, we're gonna go with the sparkles and scatter them around the whole thumbnail, and then we're gonna add the bubbles again. As you can see, you can adjust them on how do you prefer. This time I'm just gonna make them smaller and a little bit different than the previous time, and you can adjust their position. I'm just gonna push it a little bit back. Oh my god, okay. And I'm gonna add here on the side, just like that. You can either go with only sparkles, but I prefer to add more to my thumbnails. I don't know where are my bubbles. Oh my god, And now we're gonna add the bubbles again because, as I said, this is like the only thing that I found for now. I think there are more, but you have to search for them. Like you have to scroll down to look for more, but this is what we have for now, and it matches like the purple or plum option that we have here. We're just gonna put it there. So this is how it looks for the gameplay. Like this is so simple. As I said before, the only work you have to do is inside the game, and the rest is going to be like really easy. And now we're going to move to the build, which is going to be the last thing. Okay, now we're going to move to the build, which is, I think, the easiest one among the others, because in this one, you don't have to add a text or something. So we're going to pull or drag the one picture that we took and we like. And then, as usual, we're just going to go and add a frame. I like the thin one, so we're going to go with it. And I also like how dark is it, but because I prefer the white, we're going to choose white one. And sometimes it gives you like option for colors that you can choose, like a color palette, depends on the photo's color. You can go for that. Like we can see that there's a beige, there's green, depends on your preference. So I'm going to go for that. So now we added the frame and the picture. Now let's assume this build is related to a certain pack. You're going to search for a transparent icon for any of the packs, and you can just simply add them here, and that's gonna be it. Like this is what I usually see on YouTube. Or the other option, if it's not related to any certain type of pack or anything, you just can look for the Sims 4 logo and it's transparent. You can find it on Google and you just can put it, and that's it. Like this is what I see for builders over YouTube. They add nothing, and sometimes they will just leave it plain like that, but this time we're gonna add this, so maybe we're gonna work with that. Again, we're just gonna use sparkles. This time we're gonna mix between the gold and the white sparkles just for the aesthetic, I would say. But working with Canva is really easy, especially if you're a beginner and you don't usually have like space to add, for example, Photoshop or any of these big, or heavy, I don't know what it's called, like applications for your PC, and you can just adjust them the way you like. And this is how I made it with both of the glitters or sparkles. Again, we're gonna go with that. As I said, there are so many options that you can go for, but this is the only one that I found for now. This time I'm gonna make it like a very transparent, like more than the other ones. I'm gonna reduce the transparency percentage. I do think it's much better for builds, and you can just mix between a very transparent one with a more like, I don't know how to say that, like darker one. Like this is so transparent. Now we're gonna add one that's more thick. I don't know what word to use for the corners, just for the corners, so that doesn't look really, tense or harsh maybe. So yeah, this is how it looks. So this is for the build. So far, I do think this one here needs to be reduced, and this is how it looks. Like you can maybe adjust more about the frame. You have to spend some time trying to adjust how the whole, thumbnail is gonna look like. You can change the position of the Sims logo and mess with the position of it, or position, whatever you want to call it. Just gonna pull it here, and maybe this is the best position for the thumbnail. So this is how it looks. I really like how most of the thumbnails turned out like, and it took me really a long time to record this video, so that would be really good if you're gonna subscribe to my channel. So this is how these thumbnails look like. Of course, if you have like Photoshop, if you have Pro, Canva, everything's gonna be like much more easier and you're gonna have more tools. But if you can't like afford purchasing any of those, like you have a very simple option and you can use many tools within the free Canva. You still like can manage to do everything for YouTube thumbnails. Like it's not gonna be hard. And if you have any questions, don't forget to ask me down in the comment section. And I'm gonna try to leave the links for the shaders that I used, and for anything that I used, I'm just gonna leave the links down below. Hope that this video was beneficial. If you're a starter YouTuber and you need like a tutorial on how to make thumbnails, this is gonna be like your simple guide, and share it to your friends because I know that so many people struggle on making thumbnails. I was one of them. I didn't know how to make ones. Like you can go scroll down to my old thumbnails back last year, they don't look really good. Although you're gonna practice and people or Simmer are gonna teach you more, and by that you're gonna make a better one. So this is gonna be it for this video, and I'm gonna see you in another one. Bye!